Regardless of your music taste, everybody in the world knows Eminem. This, however, makes some rappers extremely jealous and makes some even hate the rapper, as Snoop Dogg himself has a very interesting take on Eminem. Snoop thinks that Eminem did have a great career, but he isn't in the top 10 of all time still.
Eminem in a position where he could be labeled as one of the top 10 rappers ever. I don't think so, but the game feels like he's top 10. You understand me? I ain't got no time to play with it. It is what it is. It's like, Cuz did that. But when you talking about this hip hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
As this would go on to break the internet, Eminem would even respond to Snoop Dogg in his track titled Zeus, where he would say, and I quote, "As far as squash and beef, I'm used to people knocking me, but just not in my camp. The last thing I need is Snoop dogging me. Man, dog, you was like a god to me. Nah, not really. I had dog backwards." Eminem would even further go on to comment during a Shade 45 interview, where he would say, "Everything he said, by the way, was fine up to a point. It was the last statement where he said, as far as music I can live without, I can live without that. Now you're just being disrespectful," and it caught me off guard. Snoop Dogg would end up responding to the song by saying, and I quote, "Pray I don't answer that soft stuff," as just a few months later, Snoop Dogg would end up eating his words, where in an interview he would say, and I quote, "I was wrong. Do you forgive me, bro?" Where Eminem would later hop on an interview sharing that the two had resolved their issues with each other.
I don't remember if I called him or he called me, I can't remember, but
yeah,
we talked it out, and I think that there was a miscommunication at the time in regards to him being on my album, the Mathers LP. And I think he said the way that he took it was kind of like that I don't with him.
However, Eminem would get the last laugh. Snoop Dogg would want to feature Eminem on a track, to which Eminem made Snoop Dogg pay his feature fee and donate it all to a charity. The song is titled From the D to the LBC, where they both pay homage to their cities. However, there's been other multiple old school rappers that have spoken out on Eminem, as we even saw Lil Wayne and Kid Cudi talking about their experience with the GOAT.
I just was like, man, let's send it to him. You know, the worst that can happen is he doesn't. Man, I got him on the phone. I had to tell him, I was like, yo, bro, like, you destroyed it.
I mean, I already know.
He it was like, you know, because I was nervous, because I was like, man, like, I'm like, gonna get Eminem on my song, he gonna body me on my own.
As Lil Wayne even went on to talk about how he made sure that Eminem didn't body him on his own track when he collaborated with Eminem.
You're probably the only person that did a record with M that they said that M didn't body. How do you feel about that?
I can humbly just say I expected that. You're not gonna do me this. Either we gonna be right here with it and just make a beautiful, wonderful, great song, but you ain't gonna do me that. And so that's what we did. Yeah, we just made a wonderful, great song. I ain't hear nobody ever say nobody body each other, nothing like that.
Drake's interaction with Eminem was something special, as Drake was on tour and he was able to surprise the crowd with an Eminem appearance during a live concert. He would go on to say this before they performed, giving extremely high praise to Eminem.
Some noise for the greatest rapper to ever get on a microphone. He goes by the name of Eminem.
Nothing was as special as the Eminem track with Akon, where Eminem would go on to work with Akon, creating the hit song titled Smack That, as Akon would reminisce on how professional and talented Eminem was in the studio.
Working with him made me look at the business different, because he was the first artist that I worked with that actually treated business like a real job. He comes in at 9 a.m. every day to the studio, takes his lunch break at 1, and is out of there by 5 p.m. First day I came around 6. I'm expecting, okay, we're gonna do an evening session, get this studio. Oh, M just left. Yo, M, where you at? He said, I'm out of here. I said, well, I'm at the studio, I just got here. You coming back? He said, I'll be back there at 9 a.m.
As this would even lead into another collaborator of Eminem. Nicki Minaj would even speak on the experience of being able to work with Eminem, giving us, the viewer, the experience of how it would be with Eminem in the studio.
So I sent him one record and he didn't love it. He didn't say I didn't love it, but he just said, could you send me something that's a little bit more me? But like with M, he had the respect at least to treat me like a peer and say, you know what, I think it's, but I don't think it's me. And I just was like, I respect that so much.
We even saw 50 Cent share his backstory with the GOAT. 50 Cent, who has had a long friendship with Eminem lasting over 2 decades, giving insight on what it was like to be signed to Eminem's record label, Shady Records. From becoming friends in the early 2000s to performing at Super Bowl 56 together, these two rappers have gone through a lot in the music industry. 50 Cent would even hop on an interview to share,
it's not a lot of those artists that actually
get into the songwriting, real songwriting, and move those talents over. M, one of the guys from that platform that made it to that point, like that strong of a writer. And he means more to music culture than people give him credit for.
As 50 would even follow it up, stating how Eminem could literally handle anyone, as he's got the best diss tracks in the entire music industry.
You gotta be careful or you'll get handed to you on the track, man. Like, he'll get to you. If he's in the right headspace, he'll do it to anybody in music.
Further proving that nobody can even get on the same level as Eminem is the entire MGK beef, where MGK switched up his entire genre of music by the time that Eminem was done with him. But 50 Cent wasn't done here. He would go on to share this in 2014.
The one Grammy I have is for Crack a Bottle. I couldn't even have that without him. You know, and that's why I have so much value for him, one of my best friends, because I can trust that he's gonna be honest with his constructive criticism when it's time to listen to the music before it goes out.
As it's great to see that despite 20 years passing since the signing of Shady Records, these two are extremely loyal and friends to this day. Eminem feels the exact same way towards 50 Cent, as he would even say so in this speech.
Not only like a business partner to me, it's one of the best friends I've ever known in the world. I would say that it's much more fun to be his friend than it is to be his enemy, because this guy is relentless.
While it seems like all rappers love Eminem, there was a few that took their chances at dissing him, and it all ended badly. The beef between Eminem and Ja Rule really showed how powerful of a rapper Eminem is. And it is also pretty evident that Eminem still has harsh feelings towards Ja, as this feud started off way back when 50 Cent was first starting his own career in the rap game. 50 Cent decided to talk to Ja Rule about signing to his label, but Ja Rule laughed in 50 Cent's face. He even went on to diss 50 Cent, stating that he was jealous and that he was the official rapper of the Queens. Things would even get physical to the point where Ja Rule and 50 Cent threw hands at an Atlanta nightclub. But this is where Eminem comes into play. As many of you know, 50 Cent went on to sign with Eminem's record label, and one of the first singles that he released was titled Wangsta. This was a direct diss track at Ja Rule. Ja Rule even then came back with another diss titled Loose Chains, which not only went after 50 Cent, but it also went after Eminem, D12, G-Unit, Dr. Dre, as well as the biggest mistake of Ja Rule's rap career, he dissed Eminem's daughter.
Like, I wasn't even gonna say nothing, to be honest with you. I didn't even address them directly until like Ja had said something about Haley.
Ja Rule made the mistake of mentioning Eminem's daughter Haley in the lyrics, where Ja raps, you claim your mother uses, and Kim is known to get around, so what's Haley gonna do when she grows up? This led into Eminem going back at full force, releasing 2 diss tracks at Ja Rule, the first titled Hail Mary, which featured 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes. He then released a second track, which literally tore Ja Rule's entire character down. This one is called Do Re Mi. The 2 tracks tore Ja Rule to bits. Line for line, his music career was ultimately done in only 48 hours. When everyone thought that Ja Rule was done, he then responded with another diss track titled In My Eye. This was known to be one of the weakest diss tracks of all time. In fact, after Ja Rule released it, he literally lost his entire fan base. When it was all said and done, Eminem dropped an interview. It really won fans over as it showed Eminem's true emotions.
But also at the same time, wanting to be a father. And if there ever comes a day that I would have to pick one or the other, you know, I already know what it would be. You know what I'm saying? I would walk away from all of this,
making it very clear that no one should ever diss Eminem in the rap game. However, Eminem has also shared a lot of love for newer rappers years ago. He was one of the first to show love for J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and even Big Sean. Eminem said, and I quote, "My role in today's hip-hop is to always try to be the best rapper. That's how I want to feel inside. I can't do that until I listen to what J. Cole just put out or what Kendrick just put out. And I'm thinking, oh, these dudes ain't playing. I don't want to get swept away in that shuffle. I still want to let everyone know who I am." Now, while Eminem is giving those rappers their praise, they have already shared how much Eminem meant to them growing up, as J. Cole would share just how influential Eminem was to his music career.
I speak for myself. I'm such a huge Eminem fan, and especially from his first 3 albums, I was like all the way in. You know what I mean? I'm still all the way in because he's still amazing. But, you know, that was a point in my life, a very pivotal point in my rap career. My rap, my first song I ever made was literally just biting Eminem and Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you go listen, you would hear both influences.
He even followed it up, showing how crazy of a fan he was of Eminem while he was on the come up.
It's silly how big of an Eminem fan I am. You know what I mean? Like, select group of like top-notch people that I worship. You know what I mean? And that Eminem was literally at the top of that list. My first song just sounded like an Eminem bite.
Becoming a full circle moment, even Kendrick Lamar said in an interview that Eminem was definitely in his top 5.
Give me J, give me M, Pac, give me Big, yeah, and give me Snoop. These are the cats that inspired me like the most.
As Kendrick Lamar kept going, stating that his rapping attributes largely came from Eminem.
The clarity, I got my clarity just studying M. The day I heard Marshall Mathers LP, I was just, how does that work? What is he doing? How is he putting his words together like that? His time is impeccable, you know? When he want to fall off, the beat is impeccable.
As finishing it off on the list that Eminem gave, Big Sean spoke very highly of Eminem while mentioning their collaborations on the song No Favors.
You know, I think he's been back. I don't think he ever left, but I feel like Eminem throughout his whole career has just tried and been very successful, obviously, at everything. He's the biggest rapper of all time.